like to introduce Tommy Lassman. Tommy is the chairman of the JacksonYes campaign. Tommy is a former board chairman of the Chamber of Commerce and is a banker by trade and a good guy too. So, Tommy
is to take the opportunity to put the question of liquor by the drink on the ballot for the voters of Jackson County to cast their vote and let their voice be heard and let the community make that decision.
On a grand scale, 25% of the voting population. So it's a tremendous task to undertake. We have got to get 7,000 signatures. So everyone counts.
The question now is that a standard that's set forever and ever, or does another generation get to have that choice? And it's a very expensive, high hurdle to have that choice. And we'll either get enough or not, based on the work we do to get it. But we believe that very sincerely, that today's voters need to have an opportunity. And if you know what, if we have the election and it comes down, I think one of the editorial letters to the editor earlier this week said it very well. You know, game on, get the campaign on, and let the people ballot for the hearts and minds and ideas and have a real election. And whatever the outcome is, that speaks for today's voters.
The issue of whether or not people should be given the right to vote or not.
Yeah.
I think it's a personal liberty issue.
I agree.
Whether you're going to accept censorship by a particular group who has a viewpoint and that prohibits the others from having
this
rights.
entire community goes to Panama City or Tallahassee or Dothan, and we all drop our money everywhere but here.
We're going to dinner and movies tomorrow. We're going to Dothan.
We're taking the money out of our own community and going other places. And it's not just liquor. It's the entire community. We have neighbors that are your age, not mine, younger than me, that don't want the community to change. But in the meantime, on the weekends, they go to Panama City and have liquor. During the week, the affluent around here, where they all have beach houses, we don't see them on the weekends. So everybody wants their little island, but then they all leave. And we're all kind of stuck with the leftovers here, and it's kind of sad.
I think the second most compelling argument is the irony of the existing laws, in that they're saying it is better to be able to get the materials to mix a drink in your car than it is to sit in a restaurant and have one before, after, or during your meal.
We've been here for,
express your voice.
We've been here for a little bit, was it long, 4 years? And I wish we had known what we were kind of getting ourselves into. I wish the sign coming into Jackson County said something like, "Welcome to the 60s. This is where you're going to be." We wouldn't have moved here.
That's a fact of nature, in my opinion. Either you're growing and prospering, or you're dying. Now, you may sit still for a little bit. But that won't last. You know, and that's their personal choice. What we would like to put forth is that we think the majority would like that as an option. You know, this campaign on May the 18th, we've got 120 days, 120 calendar days, again, according to statute, to collect those signatures and have them certified by the supervisor of elections, and then present that to the Board of County Commissioners. Who are we? Our campaign committee, for lack of a better description, we're just local folks, we're volunteers, we all have regular jobs, we all have families and other interests, but we've taken on this challenge because we think it's an important opportunity for the citizens of Jackson County to have their voice heard and put feet to their voice to maybe open up some economic opportunity doors. We have two stated goals. We're in goal number one. Goal number one is to complete a successful petition drive, of which we loosely described for you a moment ago. It's our belief that the citizens of Jackson County deserve the opportunity to cast their vote, either for or against the referendum, and then we'll have 60 days from the time the election is set till it actually happens, and we can openly debate the pros and cons, and then let the people decide to drive, and the referendum is set. It will be a mail ballot. Often as you will, visit our website, JacksonYes.com. There's lots of information of where our next informative session like this will be. Today, we've got roughly 2,800 collected. So we're about a quarter of the way through our time frame, and we've got over a third of the signatures, about 37%. We have a real easy three-point plan that we talk to our supporters and people that are in favor of our efforts. Number one, sign a petition. why should you sign this petition? And this is probably the one of the two, the one I'm probably most passionate about. It's been almost 45 years, in 1967, since Jackson County had the opportunity, the voters, an elected body, not elected officials, not your state officials, but the voters of Jackson County, of this community. It's been almost 45 years, since 1967, since they've had that opportunity to vote. So we feel like it's time. You know, even if you're somebody who doesn't enjoy that type of drink, I'm one of those people. You know, I drink a beer, or I want a nice glass of wine with my meal, but a mixed drink I don't drink. But to go into a restaurant that has that bar doesn't mean you have to drink there, but you could enjoy that meal. And from a tourism standpoint, which Michael can tell you he's very keen to have those options is just invaluable to increasing that segment of our local economy. It shows you of the 6. By the way, there are 6 of 67. 61 of 67 counties in the state of Florida are wet.